Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the studio this evening. So, again, I'm going to paint a little blue frog this time, continuing in my frog series of paintings. I'm going to use my standard set of paints that I've been using in a palette. There it is, turned on the palette cam. They are filled up with M-gram paints, and I'll tell you what paints primarily I'm using in just a second. But I am going to be using, here it is, some silver black velvet brushes for this. Also, I'm using 140-pound B paper. The colors that I'm going to be using in this painting are turquoise, cerulean blue, maybe a little bit of ultramarine, and Paynes gray, basically. A little bit else, maybe a neutral thrown in there, but that's about all I'm going to be using in here. If you can't tell, my throat is a little bit scratchy today, having a little bit of a hard time, so I'm going to cue some music and I will be back when there's something that needs to be pointed out to you. Okay, so right about here, as I'm painting this frog's back leg, I've kind of realizing that I used too much water and I've got a bit of a problem. So I can do two things. I can continue on, which is the course I take, or I can stop and let everything dry and start over again. I'm going to continue on doing this, and you'll see me struggle a little bit as the water continues to spread, and I struggle with it just a little bit. But stay with me. It's all going to work out in the end. And here I'm beginning my shading of the frog, trying to take it from a flat blue frog into something that looks more three-dimensional, has a lot of dimension to it. So I'm just going to work my way around the frog, adding colors here and there, and hoping to build up the body of this frog. painting the eye sockets of this frog is just a little tricky. I've got to remember that there's highlight on the top of his head, but just where it rounds the corners, there's a little bit of shadow. So I've got to work hard to control that shadow and not let the paint take over what I'm doing. Looking at my reference photo, I can see that the front arm of this frog is completely dark all the way up to the shoulder. So I'm just going to add a little bit of color into this and see if I can't darken that up a little bit. You'll notice that I've got a little bit of running in this, and it's going to make it a little tough for me, but in the end I'm able to control the paint and end up with a frog that looks really nice. Okay, the back leg looks okay, but in looking at the reference photo, I can tell it needs quite a bit of darkening up to really bring it to life and add some definition to it. So I'm just doing that now, strengthening the color and defining that back leg. Okay, I've got the frog almost the way I want it. I think there's one last big thing to tackle, and that is, of course, the eye. I'm just using some basic Paynes gray here, maybe just a dab of neutral tint in there to warm that color up a little bit, leaving a highlight, and I'm just going to paint that in. Okay, I've let my painting totally dry now, so I can go back in and make some marks on it without the color bleeding out. A few black spots on the back. I'm gonna do a little bit more with the eye, and that's about it. This frog is getting close to being done. Well, that's about it. I'm looking at this frog now, and he looks a little sad, or maybe a little bit angry? Maybe, I don't know. I think his mouth is not quite at the right angle, but I don't want to do anything to mess up my painting at this point. I hope you all have enjoyed seeing this painting of this little blue tree frog. I had a great time painting it. Thank you for stopping by the studio. If you do like it, hit the subscribe button down below and check back again later for more paintings. Thank you so much.